Welcome back, everyone. Insecurity, the Hydra-headed monster that continues to affect the development of some parts of Nigeria, is a menace that must be stopped. The northwest region of Nigeria, made up of Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, and Zamfara states, is known for its mass food production, military and security command, but has been plagued by a distressing surge in violence, raising significant concerns about the effectiveness of the country's security measures and the growing influence of non-state actors. Tonight, we speak with Abdulrahman Manga, former Vice President, National Youth Council of Nigeria, on ways to address insecurity in the Northwest. Mr. Manga, thank you very much for joining us on Politics Tonight. Thank you.
Good evening.
Right, so first let's have your assessment of the security situation in the Northwest region. Has there been any progress so far? And as a nation, have we made any significant progress? Because I remember last September, Alilu Sububu was killed and several of his senior commanders in an ambush. Also, report says in the last 2 weeks, troops of Fansayama have killed bandit leaders in Sokoto and Zamfara states. Does this indicate that we are winning this war against insecurity in the Northwest region?
I'm happy that I'm part of this discussion. To be candid, there's a lot of improvement as far as security is concerned in the Northwest. We've had pockets of attacks, but the military are really on top of it, and we must have to commend the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as well as the army chiefs, for doing well in trying to make sure that they are able to be on top of the matter. Because as it is, we have gotten tremendous advances by the military to actually flush these bandits, and significant success has been recorded so far. And we must commend the efforts of the government on doing on keeping to their promise of ensuring that bandits are reduced to the barest minimum.
All right. You know, the federal government has vowed to leverage all necessary resources to weaken the criminal element and restore stability to these affected communities. But we've seen the growing influence of non-state actors in the region and how well they have gained significant traction in the Northwest. But for you, how bad is it?
Sorry, come again?
I was talking about how the federal government has vowed to leverage all necessary resources to weaken the criminal element and restore stability to the affected communities. And we've also seen the growing influence of non-state actors in the region and how well they've gained significant traction in the Northwest. How bad is it?
Well, to be candid, what we are seeing now, there are a lot of improvement because people are back to farms and movements are made easy. Some places that used to be very hard to reach, people can now move freely, go to village markets and what have you. So I think the situation is improving, and we're giving kudos to some of our governors. And also our governors are on top of the matter. Like, I'm coming from Kebbi. I've seen how our governor, Dr. Nasir Idris Aurangondo, has been very, very committed on ensuring that security is his top priority. And so far, I can see other governors are really trying their best to equally arm the vigilantes and what have you, because our governor has given cars, trucks, hillocks, and all sort of support to the vigilantes to be able to help the military in containing peace in our areas. So now markets that are really hard to reach are now patronized, and people can move freely within Kebbi and some parts of Sokoto and what have you. So I think there's a lot of improvement, but more need to be done, because now the military are actually advancing to the hideouts of these people and are really doing well in flushing them out.
We would come to what exactly needs to be done, but interestingly also we saw the relocation of security chiefs to Sokoto State, and many attributed the death of some of those kingpins to that bold move by the federal government. But how precedented was that move? And do you agree that indeed it's made a lot of impact in the progress recorded so far?
Yes. There have been a lot of tremendous success so far. It's no more the way it used to be. Then our roads are you can't even travel. You're always, they are day in, day out, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Now you just have pockets of trouble areas, and they are busy running around. They are not really the way they used to be, very comfortable that the government is not doing anything. Now the government is really serious about it, and we are happy with what the government is doing. If this is sustained, I believe that in no time these elements will be flushed out of the states.
But to what extent would you say activities of fifth columnists or collaborators are aiding insecurity in the Northwest region?
Well, I believe that one of the biggest problems we have is the porous borders we have in the Northwest, and this is almost all over. You can find they come in, usually they don't even stay within the country. They advance, they do their mayhem, and they move out of the country, and that is a very bad thing for us. So I think our borders should be strengthened, and continue to give more logistic support to the military and other security agencies, so that we will have a collaboration between the securities and the DSS. We have enough intelligence gathering so that we can be able to contain them. So far, I can assure you that with the collaboration with the airstrikes and the ground troops, the security is really improving drastically in our states.
For the governors, how do you evaluate the efforts of the Northwest governors in tackling insecurity in the region? Have they shown some level of commitment, or better put, some level of seriousness in this fight against insecurity?
Most sincerely. I just told you that my governor gave helices and all the logistic support, and he's always on it. And he's always there whenever there's such attacks. Like the recent one we had in Argungu area, where you have the Labrawas, groups coming to take cattle and what have you. The governor was on top of it, and he gave all the support, and they were flushed out. So I believe that with what the governors are doing, especially my governor that I know, I believe that if the governors will maintain the same tempo of commitment, I'm sure this thing will be a thing of the past. All we want is the governors should find a way of coming together to identify what needs to be done and advance at the same time, so that they don't have running place. They don't move from point A when they are attacked to point B. So that let's have a round approach where if Kebbi is advancing, Jigawa is advancing, Niger is advancing, Kaduna is advancing, they don't have a running place, a hiding place, and that is going to be really a very good approach to be able to contain them, because when they find a situation where some governors are not doing well, then they easily run from where they are being troubled to where they are less being troubled.
I asked the question because there have been several summits, partnerships with international organizations, and Nigerians are asking or demanding to know if these governors have shown the political will to channel the resources available to them to give a new lease of life to the millions of people in the region, especially with the emergence of another terrorist group, Lakrawa. But let me ask you, as a former vice president, National Council of Nigeria, what have you done to educate young people from being recruited as fighters or being part of these terrorist groups?
One of the biggest challenges we have, and I'm happy that His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kebbi, is engaging the youths in virtually everything that has to do with the state, and that has gone a long way in promoting, creating enough awareness so that people should know and shun this kind of things. And I will appeal to governors in all the Northwest states to be able to engage youths, have seminars, have town hall meetings, and create a kind of things that will keep them busy, because they said the idle mind is the devil's workshop. And once there is a very high rate of unemployment, the youths get indulged, or they are persuaded to go into such kind of criminalities. So I believe that the governors are doing well, because this is a very serious situation where the economy of the country is almost paralyzed. So what the governors are doing, I want to commend them, and I want to appeal to them to add more to what they are doing, because no amount of effort is less or is not enough, so that we can be able to completely thrash this serious problem. Because as it is, the insecurity is one of the most dangerous elements that is happening within the country, where you even have people that sometimes intruders are not even Nigerians. When they come and some of them are neutralized, you find that they are not even circumcised, some of them, and some of them have hairs. We even found instances where we have white men involved in such kind of attacks. So it's a very serious situation. And sorry?
I'm talking about how serious the situation is. You've just talked about porous borders, and most of the persons who come in are young people. How do you manage the influx? How do you determine if they're being recruited as terrorists?
You see, most of the time they have different approaches, and that is a very serious problem because of, I said earlier, because of the nature of our porous borders. Our borders are so open. People can come into Nigeria and go out of Nigeria without even being noticed. And that is a very bad thing for the country. But I hope the governors also, and this is a federal project, it's not a governor's responsibility, because is about territorial border. The federal government should look at modalities in which they are really going to tighten up more in terms of border security. And that is very, very key, so that we know the kind of people that comes in, we know the kind of people that goes out of the country. Most especially our borders that are conventional borders, that the criminals don't use that. They use all sort of small routes, and they use all sort of means to cross in, come in and out.
All right, sadly we're out of time, but I'm sure we'd have this conversation some other time. Thank you so much for joining us on Politics Tonight. Abdulrahman Manga, former Vice President, National Youth Council of Nigeria. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.